Hi guys, welcome back. Today is day 9 of 14 days of sunscreen, and we are starting today off with an interesting one. So this is a new to me. I have a lot of new to me if you hadn't noticed, but this is by the brand Herbivore and it's called Starseed. So I had no idea what to expect from this because Herbivore is not a new brand. It's a very clean brand in the sense that the marketing is very that centric. But I just have never heard anybody talking about it. It's not new. So I wanted to try it out and, well, I have some thoughts on it. So I'm just gonna get into it because this one's an interesting one and I wanna show you what it looks like on my face and tell you about the texture and all the other things that I always do. But without further ado, if you're not already subscribed, it's day 9. You should be subscribed. Do so below, give it a big ol' like, and we'll get into it right now. Okie dokie. So as always, my face is clean. I have no skincare on. I have normal combo skin, not even combo. It's just normal balanced. In the summertime, I live in the South in America, so it gets hot and humid. I just don't need as much skincare. And in the summer or in the wintertime, it can get a little dry, but not really like anything crazy. So that's my skin type. That's what we're working with our canvas. And of course, my 1/4 teaspoon is what I'm gonna be using. Oh, might have gotten a little too much, but that's okay. We'll make it work. This is the Herbivore Starseed Sheer Glow Mineral Sunscreen SPF 30. It retails for $38 and it comes in 1.7 fluid ounces, which is 50 milliliters, your standard amount. They say that this is a daily mineral sunscreen and brightening moisturizer in one, packed with non-nano zinc oxide and vitamin C in a lightly tinted featherweight formula that works on a wide range of skin tones. This one does have 21% non-nano zinc oxide, as well as THD vitamin C, which is supposed to be an ultra-stable form of vitamin C. It also has VitaGlow D, which that's probably like a proprietary ingredient name, but it's supposed to be a plant-based blend that mimics the antioxidant benefits of vitamin D. Prebiotics and glycerin, which I don't know about prebiotics for your skin, but glycerin is always good. One thing about it, it does have butyl-octyl salicylate, so technically this would be a hybrid sunscreen, but a lot of people don't know that. I try to always call that out, so if you are kind of sensitive to chemical filters, just be aware, not all mineral sunscreen formulations are 100% mineral these days. They kind of sneak it in without people knowing. It does have a fragrance, and it's kind of a citrusy smell. It's minimal, but it is definitely there, and there are ingredients listed in there as far as like the extracts for the fragrance. Okay, we did it, and I look absolutely insane. So I'm gonna go wash my hands, fix what's ever going up here, and we'll be back in a second. Okay, I wanted to show you kind of the tint or the swatch of it because the tint is an interesting tint. Did I get enough? Maybe not. Let's do a little bit more. So this is what it looks like when it comes out. It's kind of like a light peachy color, and apologies for my nails. They got wrecked. But this is what it looks like when you swatch it out. It definitely pulls more cool, neutral, which is good in a sense because there are so many tinted mineral sunscreens that are gonna pull so warm that I feel like this is one of the few that pulls a little bit cooler, lighter. But I don't know if this is gonna work on deeper skin tones just because as you can see my face, I got a little bit more pale. I look a little sick. So when you do blend it out, it is more invisible once it's blended out, but it's not 100%. And I think on deeper skin tones, it is gonna show. I'm just blending it out, don't mind me. Okay, so let's talk about kind of the finish because this one is an interesting, I think, the finish and the texture of it compared to a lot of the others that I'm gonna be reviewing, whereas those might be more like, does this work for your skin type and is it the right shade or kind of undertone? This one, like I said, it definitely has a more cool, fair undertone. So that's good for a lot of people because obviously a lot of sunscreens pull so warm, but it is a very odd texture. The very first time I put it on, I was just like, what is on my face? It feels like kind of like glue. It is very matte on me, which is not usually the case, especially with mineral sunscreens. And they also say that it is supposed to be, sheer glow. Do you see a glow? I don't. It does oddly feel moisturizing, but I wouldn't go to it in the wintertime. Like even on my normal balanced skin, this would not be something I reach for as like a moisturizer and sunscreen in one. Definitely not. I think on dry skin, it's gonna feel pretty not great, but I never know. I just, you know, if you put all of your skincare on underneath and you have loaded up on moisturizers and you have dry skin, it could work. I just don't know why you would reach for this when there are a lot of options that would be better suited for dry skin. But all that said, I do think this is one of the very few sunscreens that's mineral. It's hybrid, but we'll call it mineral for the sake of it. And that is a sheer light kind of neutral tint or cool tint that is more matte. It's insane. There should be more of them out there because actually zinc oxide is really easy to formulate if you want to go the matte direction, because the properties of zinc oxide kind of tend to be more drying. But the trend in skincare right now is very glowy. So people who want more matte sunscreens have a hard time kind of finding it. So I think this is actually a really good option for those of you out there who do want matte or have oily skin, because for me, it looks like I need to add glow to my face after this. But again, like I said, the tint is a little weird. So 2 things to call out for this. I have not had any pilling when I've applied it, but the second I applied it, I was like the very first time, I was like, oh, this is gonna pill, because it doesn't have like a slip to it. So when sunscreens don't have that slip, and then you're gonna layer it and put more and more on, which I do, I put 1/4 teaspoon. I was just like, I'm prepared for it to pill, because that's what they do. And oddly enough, it hasn't ever pilled on me, which I'm just kind of like waiting for the day when it does. It does wear well underneath makeup as well. So I'm kind of like, it's a bit of a shocker if I'm gonna be honest. But in a good way, because I don't want my sunscreens to ever pill. That is the most infuriating thing. You've already done your skincare, you do your sunscreen, and pills off. Terrible. The other thing I did want to mention is that most people actually seem to really like this. I like to read the reviews after I use it, and sometimes before. They don't really influence how I feel, because like I feel how I'm gonna feel. But a lot of people have said that it makes their face sweat. And this is not the first time I've heard that about a mineral sunscreen. The very first time I ever experienced that was with the Drunk Elephant Umbra Tint, the tinted one, I think. Yeah, it's Umbra Tint. And it would make my upper lip sweat. I don't know if it's maybe when the weather is a little bit warmer, because I'm not experiencing that today. I haven't experienced it before when I've used this, but just something to keep in mind if you do have that kind of reaction. And I think it's more that the mineral sunscreens tend to, you know, they create a barrier on your face. And maybe if it's like hotter weather, you are sweating in between the layers. I've experienced it, but not with this one. But it's just something to keep in mind. And the other thing that I wanted to mention, as far as the scent, it is more fragranced in terms of like an artificial fragrance, but it doesn't smell like any kind of sunscreen, which even some mineral sunscreens can have that like mineral sunscreen smell. So, and that's what it is. As you can see, I need to tan my face now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go put makeup on. I have to work today. I'll put that on, I'll come back and I'll show you, and we'll wrap up this video. Okay guys, so this is what it looks like with makeup on over top. All I used is what I kind of like to do for light makeup days is the Chanel Le Beige Sheer Healthy Glow Illuminating Fluid in the shade Sunkissed. That said, I am actually going to be switching over to the Dior. I need to get a darker shade, but this is the same thing. It's like basically the same price, but it comes in like 14 or 12 shades, and this comes in 2. So it's a no-brainer to me. I'm going to be switching to the Dior once I finish this. But that's besides the point. The point of this is this glow is all from the illuminating fluid. Because the sunscreen does feel very matte on my skin, I wanted something glowy, but I didn't want something heavy. Like I didn't want a foundation. That's the thing with this sunscreen. I do find it can feel just a little, not like heavy in a bad way, but if you really hate the feel of anything on your face, this may not be the one for you. I don't mind it. To me, it's my makeup kind of and sunscreen in one, because I'm just putting something very sheer over top of it. But again, if you don't like heavy, it does have a heavier kind of consistency and feel to it. Not in the worst way. It still feels comfortable on my skin. Everything blended out perfectly. Like, still surprised that happens because it is kind of thicker. but I think everything looks really, really nice and natural. So that's kind of how I like to wear this. I like to wear it for more like no makeup days, when I just wear maybe bronzing drops on top, something like that, to just give me a little bit more life and color. But otherwise, you could wear this alone. And for me, I was like, I don't know, this just doesn't feel like the sunscreen for me, like when I first bought it before trying it. And I was like, maybe I'll return it, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be returning it. I think I'm actually going to be using this quite a bit in the summer, because it is just that perfect matte base for me and for my skin type. But like I said, drier skin, probably not going to be the one for you. Normal, combo, oily, this might be a really good option for you in the summertime or year round. So with all that said, I think that's it. Let me give you a close-up just again to see what it looks like. And that is day 9. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it's a fun one. I haven't seen anyone talk about this, so give it a thumbs up. Let me know what your thoughts are, and I will see you tomorrow for day 10. Bye.